Welcome to The Art of the Heist, a journey into art's most audacious and unsolved mysteries. Tonight, we peel back the layers of time to reveal secrets behind 4 legendary heists that redefined art history. Our story begins in 1911 with the infamous case of Vincenzo Peruggia, the trusted Louvre insider who stole the Mona Lisa. His bold act not only shocked the art world, but forced museums around the globe to rethink security forever. Fast forward to 1990, when the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum was plunged into darkness on a fateful night. 13 priceless masterpieces disappeared in what has come to be known as the $500 million heist that shook the art world. Despite a tantalizing $10 million reward, the clues remain as enigmatic as the stolen art itself. Then we head to Amsterdam, where 2 Van Gogh paintings vanished, plunging us into the shadowy underbelly of international crime. Dubbed the Van Gogh Heist and the 14-year hunt for masterpieces, this mystery reveals how art can be the ultimate currency in a dangerous criminal world. Finally, our investigation takes us to the turbulent aftermath of World War II. In 1945, American soldier Joe Mader walked away with 8 medieval artifacts from a German mineshaft, a heist shrouded in patriotism and controversy known as the World War II art heist that shook medieval history. Each chapter of our story is a piece of a puzzle that challenges our perceptions of art, crime, and history. So, fasten your seatbelts and prepare to dive deep into a labyrinth of clues, secrets, and conspiracies. Let's begin our journey into the hidden world of stolen masterpieces. In the heart of Paris, 1911, an ordinary man with an extraordinary plan pulled off the most audacious art theft in history. A heist that would forever change the fate of the world's most famous painting. The Louvre Museum was a temple of art. But on a quiet August morning, it became the stage for a mystery that would confound police and captivate millions. With virtually no security and open access for museum employees and visitors alike, the conditions were ripe for something unimaginable. At the time, the Louvre's relaxed protocols made it possible for insiders to blend in. And that's exactly what happened. Born Pietro Vincenzo Antonio Peruggia in a humble Italian village near the Alps, Peruggia was not a mastermind, but rather an unassuming decorator who once worked as a glazier at the Louvre. His familiarity with museums' inner workings would soon prove to be his greatest asset. Peruggia's work at the Louvre meant he knew every nook and cranny, especially how the Mona Lisa was secured. His ordinary job made his later act all the more extraordinary. Peruggia had seen every corner of that museum. He knew how to get in and how to get away. On that fateful morning of August 21st, 1911, while the museum lay mostly empty, its usual hum of visitors replaced by silence, Peruggia set his plan in motion. Dressed in a white smock just like every other Louvre employee, he made his move before anyone noticed. When the halls were empty, Peruggia knew this was his moment. He carefully detached the Mona Lisa from its iron supports, removed its protective case, and wrapped the painting with his own smock. With the stolen artwork tucked away securely under his arm, he exited the museum through the same door he'd entered, leaving behind a mystery that would confound the art world. The theft was not discovered until the next day. The Louvre staff were in disbelief, and within hours, newspapers had speculated wildly about the crime of passion, or even a daring scheme straight out of a novel. In the aftermath, the investigation unfolded like a fever dream. With at least 60 policemen combing the museum, every employee and visitor was questioned. Even renowned artists like Picasso and Apollinaire were briefly detained as suspects. Detectives knew who'd entered on that day. But where's the painting? Who could have taken it without being noticed? The investigation, muddled by missteps and mistaken identities, missed a crucial detail. Peruggia's own fingerprints were never properly checked against the records, a critical oversight that allowed him to slip under the radar. For 2 long years, the world wondered if the Mona Lisa would ever be seen again. Meanwhile, Peruggia kept the painting hidden in a modest Paris apartment, waiting for the perfect moment to claim a reward or perhaps to profit from his crime. When Peruggia finally made contact with an art dealer in Florence, it was clear that his intentions were not entirely patriotic. He expected a windfall, and that very ambition would lead to his downfall. Peruggia was later arrested. When asked during the trial if he stole the Mona Lisa to return it to Italy, he claimed that he did it for his country, and he didn't want to see Italy's treasures stolen away. But evidence and later revelations suggested that money was always on his mind. Peruggia was convicted of the crime and sentenced to only 7 months in prison. The case remains shrouded in controversy. Was Peruggia a patriotic hero reclaiming what was stolen from Italy, or was he a cunning thief looking to make a fortune? Some experts even suggest that he was part of a larger con involving shadowy figures like Eduardo de Valifierno, who may have orchestrated the theft to profit from fake reproductions. There's no external proof of Valifierno's involvement, yet whispers of a mastermind behind the scenes continue to fuel debate. The truth remains elusive. The Mona Lisa's disappearance transformed a once respectable painting into a global icon, a symbol of mystery and intrigue. Its stolen status catapulted it into the realm of myth and popular culture. Today, security at art museums around the world is unthinkably tight, a legacy of the flaws exposed in 1911. Without that theft, the Mona Lisa might have remained just another painting. Instead, it became a legend, a cautionary tale and an inspiration for countless works of art and media. Vincenzo Peruggia, an unlikely figure in art history, inadvertently reshaped the art world. His crime, born of complex motives and executed with surprising simplicity, reminds us that even the most iconic masterpieces have secrets waiting to be uncovered. In the heart of Boston, on a cold March night in 1990, the unthinkable happened. 13 priceless masterpieces vanished in one of the most audacious art heists in history. This is the story of what was stolen and the mystery that endures. Welcome to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, a treasure trove of art, history, and legacy. Founded by the visionary Isabella Stewart Gardner, this museum is not only a home for some of the world's most valuable paintings, but a testament to passion and art. But on March 18, 1990, everything changed. Under cover of darkness, thieves, disguised as Boston police officers, executed a plan so audacious that the case remains unsolved to this day. Among the stolen pieces was Vermeer's The Concert, the most valuable stolen painting in the world, along with two rare Rembrandt paintings, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee and Portrait of a Lady and Gentleman in Black. Also taken were a Rembrandt self-portrait etching, Manet's Chez Tortone, 5 exquisite drawings by Gogh, a work by Gogh Flink, an ancient Chinese queue, and an eagle finial once crowning a Napoleonic flag. Each piece wasn't just art. They were historical milestones representing eras of innovation, beauty, and cultural evolution. On that fateful night, the museum's security was breached in a way that still baffles investigators. For 81 minutes, the thieves roamed freely, replacing the art with facsimiles and leaving behind a mystery that would haunt the art world for decades. No alarms were raised, no signs of forced entry. It was as if the work simply vanished into thin air. The collection that was stolen is more than a list of masterpieces. It's a lost chapter of art history. Vermeer's The Concert remains the crown jewel, shrouded in mystery. The Rembrandts, with their rare seascape and portrait, are irreplaceable, and even a single eagle finial, now the subject of a separate $100,000 reward, speaks to the heist's enduring enigma. The fact that these items have never been recovered only deepens their legend and the urgency for answers. Despite an intensive investigation that spanned decades, the case remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in modern history. Over the years, theories have abounded, from inside jobs and mafia connections to international art syndicates. Detectives later confessed that every lead was a dead end. The security systems were compromised in ways they never anticipated. And even with the multi-million-dollar reward, the truth remains elusive. In 2017, a $5 million reward expired with no breakthrough. Now, the museum is offering $10 million for any verifiable lead. And a twist that underscores the case's peculiar details. A separate $100,000 reward is on the table for information about the eagle finial. Beyond its monetary value, the heist has had a profound cultural impact. It has inspired books, documentaries, and even fictional portrayals that blur the lines between reality and legend. The Gardner heist isn't just about missing art. It's about the fragility of cultural heritage and how history can be manipulated by those operating in the shadows. Every theory adds another layer to the mystery. Could the stolen masterpieces be hidden in plain sight? Have they been disassembled, reassembled, or are they destined to remain lost forever? 35 years later, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist endures as one of the most baffling crimes in art history. Its stolen treasures continue to stir imaginations, fuel investigations, and remind us that sometimes the most valuable things in our culture can vanish without a trace. This mystery is far from over. The art is still out there, and perhaps one day the stolen masterpieces will be returned to their rightful home. December 2002, Amsterdam, a city known for its charm, canals, and culture, became the stage for a heist so audacious it would forever alter the art world. Welcome to Stolen, the Van Gogh heist and the 14-year hunt for masterpieces. Today, we delve into the mystery behind two stolen Van Gogh paintings and the international chase that led to their dramatic recovery. Vincent van Gogh, one of history's greatest artists. His work, filled with raw emotion and vivid color, captured the hearts of millions. Among his masterpieces are Congregation, leaving the Reformed Church in Union, and Seascape at Scheveningen, both housed at the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. These paintings are more than just art. They're a window into Van Gogh's soul, reflecting his struggles and his genius. Their presence in the museum has made them invaluable cultural treasures. But in December 2002, something unexpected happened. A plan so daring that it would send shockwaves through the art community. Under the cover of darkness, a group of thieves executed an almost cinematic robbery. They climbed onto the museum's roof, breached its security, and escaped with 2 paintings using a rope, a method as breathtaking as it was brazen. It was like something out of a movie. They knew exactly what they were doing, scaling the roof, bypassing alarms, and making a clean escape. It was a heist executed with precision. Within hours, the stolen artworks had vanished, leaving authorities with a puzzle that would span continents and years. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that these were not ordinary criminals. Clues pointed to an international drug ring with ties to Italy's infamous Amato Pagano clan. Among the shadows emerged Raffaele Imperiale, a wealthy businessman with deep links to the underworld. Investigations revealed that the theft was part of a larger criminal network, every lead taking us deeper into the world of organized crime, making the recovery of these artworks a formidable challenge. For 14 years, the case spanned borders, with investigators piecing together a puzzle that connected art theft to international drug trafficking. In 2016, the relentless efforts of the Guardia di Finanza bore fruit. In a dramatic raid on the apartment of Raffaele Imperiale, authorities discovered the hidden treasures in a basement, almost miraculously preserved after 14 years. Officers later confessed that finding the paintings with minimal damage was a rare stroke of luck. It confirmed that despite their illicit journey, the artworks had been carefully preserved, a victory not just for law enforcement, but for art lovers everywhere. This recovery stands as the only resolved case among the FBI's top 10 art crimes, a testament to international cooperation and fierce determination. Today, the paintings have returned to their rightful home in the Van Gogh Museum, continuing to inspire awe and admiration. Their recovery is more than a triumph of investigative work. It's a celebration of cultural resilience. Each painting tells its own story, and the saga of their theft and recovery only deepens their mystique. Their return is a powerful reminder that art belongs to everyone and must be protected at all costs. The restored masterpieces now stand not just as relics of the past, but as symbols of hope and the enduring value of art. From a thrilling rooftop escape to the shadowy corridors of international crime, the story of these stolen masterpieces is one of mystery, danger, and ultimately redemption. It reminds us that even in the depths of criminality, justice and art can prevail. Imagine uncovering a treasure trove of medieval art, priceless relics dating back over 1,000 years, only to have them stolen by someone who seemed to be one of your own. In the final days of World War II, U.S. Army Lieutenant Joe T. Mader pulled off one of the most baffling art heists in history. This is the story of lost treasures, betrayal, and decades of mystery. Welcome to Stolen Secrets, the World War II art heist that shook medieval history. Stay with us as we dive deep into the heart of Germany's Quedlinburg Abbey, where history, war, and personal ambition collided. But first, let's set the stage. Quedlinburg Abbey was not just any church. It was a proprietary church founded in 936 by Emperor Otto the Great in honor of his father. Over centuries, the abbey amassed a dazzling collection of treasures, including illuminated manuscripts, reliquaries, liturgical cones, and even a perfume flask carved from rock crystal. These objects weren't merely art. They were symbols of imperial power, spiritual devotion, and cultural heritage. But as Europe burned during World War II, the fate of these treasures hung in the balance. With the looming threat of destruction, church authorities moved the art into a secure mine shaft southwest of Quedlinburg. They hoped the treasures would be safe from the ravages of war, or so they thought. On April 19, 1945, as Allied forces advanced, a unit of the U.S. Army, the 87th Armored Field Artillery Battalion, discovered the hidden cache. The artifacts were placed under guard. However, within weeks, church authorities reported that 8 precious objects were missing. Among the vanished treasures were a 9th century illuminated manuscript gospel, the Samuel Evangeliae, and the 1513 printed evangeliary known as the Evangelistar o Saint Reparti. Both boasted intricate jeweled covers, a testament to medieval craftsmanship. Enter First Lieutenant Joe T. Mader, a man with a secret passion. Before the war, Mader earned a bachelor's degree in art from North Texas State University. His refined tastes and specialized knowledge gave him an appreciation for what he had discovered. Eyewitnesses later recalled seeing him entering the mine shaft and emerging with mysterious bundles. In letters home, he even hinted that he was sending parcels back to his hometown of Whitewright, Texas. Was this a patriotic act of preservation, or the calculated start of an illicit art heist? Mader's background in art makes this case particularly intriguing. He knew exactly what he was taking, and his actions suggest more than mere chance. For decades, the theft remained a mystery. By 1949, with Quedlinburg now in East Germany, investigations were dropped. But the stolen relics had not vanished forever. They began resurfacing in 1987. Journalists like William Honan of the New York Times and art researcher Willie Court began to connect the dots. Their investigations pointed squarely at the Maeder family. Meanwhile, Quedlinburg pastor Friedman Goblau fought tirelessly for the return of the lost treasures. Journalists said that finding these objects decades later felt like piecing together a historical puzzle, one that stretched from war-torn Germany to a quiet town in Texas. The saga took a legal turn when, in 1990, the Maeder family made a fateful decision. Jane Maeder Cook and Jack Maeder sold the Samuel Gospel to the Cultural Foundation of the States in Berlin for a staggering $3 million. The sale set off a cascade of lawsuits. The Quedlinburg Church took legal action, and negotiations eventually led to an agreement. The family would receive compensation in return for returning the artifacts. But the U.S. government was not content with civil settlements. In 1996, indictments were brought against the Maeder siblings and their lawyer. Yet, in a twist that could belong in a crime novel, the charges were dismissed under the statute of limitations. Then came the Internal Revenue Service, which, after a lengthy investigation, settled for a mere $135,000 on claims that reached over $50 million. This case is a fascinating example of how art, law, and history intertwine, raising questions about accountability, restitution, and the true value of cultural heritage. From a wartime cache in a German mine shaft to courtrooms and international legal battles, the story of Quedlinburg treasures is a reminder that history is never truly lost. It waits to be rediscovered, debated, and sometimes fought over. Lieutenant Joe T. Maeder's actions, whether driven by personal passion or opportunism, have left an indelible mark on history. Today, the artifacts have been repatriated, but the questions remain. How do we value art? Who gets to decide its fate? And what does it mean to steal from history? As our investigation draws to a close tonight, the echoes of these daring heists continue to haunt the corridors of art history. We witnessed how, in 1911, Vincenzo Peruggia's audacious theft of the Mona Lisa not only rattled the Louvre, but also redefined museum security worldwide. We then delved into the chilling mystery of the Gardner heist, a night when 13 masterpieces vanished, leaving behind clues that have baffled investigators for decades. The allure of that elusive $10 million reward reminds us that some mysteries remain unsolved. In Amsterdam, the disappearance of two Van Gogh paintings unraveled a dark tale of mafia intrigue and international crime, blurring the lines between art and underworld dealings. And in 1945, amid the chaos of war, the secretive theft of medieval artifacts by American soldier Joe Mater, an act of patriotism and subterfuge, still sparks debate today. These stories, each a puzzle piece of a larger picture, compel us to question who really benefits when history's masterpieces are stolen, and what hidden motives and long-buried secrets drive these incredible crimes. Thank you for joining us on this mesmerizing ride through time and mystery. Our journey has only just begun, and we invite you to stay tuned as we peel back even more layers of these enthralling cases. Until next time, keep questioning, keep searching, and remember, sometimes art hides more than just beauty. It hides secrets.